fish on. Hello folks, today we're going to be making Grandma's secret recipe for potato pancakes. Yep, you heard it, potato pancakes. These are a favorite of our family, and my grandma on my mom's side passed this recipe down, and I make them all the time. They're really good. Anybody's ever had them really liked them, so I think you'll enjoy them too. So what we're going to do is, I cut the recipe down. It originally calls for a bigger size, but it's only me and the wife, so we're going to cut it down to a smaller size. We got about 5 small to medium sized potatoes here. We got 1 onion. What else you're going to need? Some garlic pepper, garlic salt, some baking powder, and some all-purpose white flour. And I put some That's Incredible seasoning in it too. That's really good stuff. If you haven't tried that, give it a try, because it is very, very good. It's good on everything. It's like an all-purpose, kind of a garlic-based all seasonings, great on chicken and lots of things. So I add that in there too as well. So let's get started and getting these potatoes ready. Okay, so we got our potatoes peeled. We got our onion cut up a little bit. What we're going to use is this little hand chopper to chop up these potatoes. Okay, so what we want to do is chop these up. I mean, not super thin, they're kind of thick, you know what I mean? Not, you don't want to like get them paper thin, whatever, but in order to chop them up in that chopper like that, it's real easy to just go like that and chop them up. And you get a nice little, tiny little chunks of potato like that. Don't have my food processor up here, so back home I'll use a food processor, which is quite a bit easier. You don't have to do as much physical work and chopping it up. But one thing, word of warning with the food processor, you gotta pulse it. The potatoes, cut them up in chunks like this, but you want to pulse it, because if you just do that thing wide open, it'll just be like mashed potatoes. You don't want it like that. You want them little tiny little chunks like that. So that's a key to it. You want it tiny chunks like that. Grandma used to use the old hand grinder, like a meat grinder, and put them in there, and it came out with a kind of like the old hamburger grinder hand wheel. So we want them little tiny chunks of potatoes, not big ones. They're pretty small, but you don't want to like mash potato real thin and soupy like that, because it won't come out right. So we're gonna get these chopped up with the onions same way in this chopper, and then we'll get back with you. Okay, as you can see, we got our potatoes chopped up real nice. See how they're nice little tiny cubes of potatoes. That's a key. Okay, so what we're going to do is add 2 eggs to it. And we're going to take that spatula and mix it up real good. Okay, so we're going to add about a half a teaspoon baking powder. We're going to add a half a cup of flour. Okay, we're gonna add some garlic pepper. I'm going to add some garlic salt. We're going to add some of our It's Incredible seasoning. Okay. Now we're going to mix that all up real good. As you can see, it's kind of a little bit dry now, but the longer it sets, the wetter it'll get. Because the potatoes, it'll get more watery. You gotta mix it real good. Get all that flour and egg mixed in there with the seasoning. Okay, we're going to let this set a little bit. I'm going to get my grease going on the stove and get that heated up, so I'll be back. Okay, as you can tell, it's got a more creamier, waterier kind of a mixture than originally. The longer it sets, it gets more, and that's what you kind of want before you start cooking them. So we're going to get these babies going and get them into grease. Okay, we got our grease going. We got a cast iron skillet here. Seems to be the best. You want a hot, pretty hot fire. You want to pan it down. I'd say about medium-high for your heat on your grease. And you want enough grease, to come up not over the top of the pancake, but just, over the edge of it. You can see the corners are getting brown now, like that. It's almost ready to flip. There we go, look at that. Beautiful. Golden brown. I promise you, these babies are going to be dynamite. One thing about these pancakes is you really got to eat them right away while they're hot. They're not really good after they sit around, they get rubbery. But if you get it right when it comes out of the grease, wow. It is dynamite, I'm telling you. Good stuff. One thing too, if you put them in a bigger pan, Your hot spot's always in the center, so you always kind of turn them a little bit to evenly cook them. But in this case, I only got one pancake in there, so it cooks pretty. But if you use a bigger skillet, so we get three pancakes in it, I kind of spin them around in there to evenly cook them. I think this baby's about done. There we go, potato pancakes. I'll put a little bit of salt on it for taste. Try it out here and see what happens. I want that center is a little bit, the outside's kind of crunchy. Oh man. Try this recipe. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Grandma's old recipe. Thanks, Grandma, for passing it down. I'm sure you'll enjoy it too. Okay, there we go, folks. Potato pancakes. Got them plated up there. Got more on the stove coming up, so hope you enjoy it. Try it out. Till next time, tight lines, and we'll catch you later.